Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to do something different. I'm showing you an old movie clip from a documentary movie called Desert Empire 1948. Now it was produced by Denver Rio Grande Western Railroad to promote train travel in Utah. Now I'm just going to show you the clip what pertains to Bingham Canyon and Bingham Canyon's mine. Now the whole documentary is only about 30 minutes long. And it is public domain, so if you want to watch it, go ahead. It's all over the internet and YouTube and different places. I will show you the clip as it is, and then I'm going to go back and show it again and do some narration and show you some pictures. The reason for doing this is because of the date, the year 1948. Now, I think they filmed it around 1940, and I'll show you the reasons why I think this is so. Now, I'm not trying to take away from this movie in any way. I love the film. I'm thankful we have it. It's an important part of history, Utah's history and Bingham Canyon's history. And I understand the year 1948 might have been the year they released it and they filmed it earlier. But then I was thinking 1940, 1941, it could have been because of the war years, World War II. And they held off release until after the war because most of the trains were used for the war effort. Anyway, and I also understand that people have their creative license to do things, but maybe they shouldn't do that in documentaries. I just find this interesting and wanted to show you why I think this part of the film was filmed in 1940, maybe even before. So here's Desert Empire, 1948.
Copperton, Utah, the model city that Copper built with its copper-shingled homes, is the approach to Bingham, famous mining town with its 7-mile-long canyon street, a narrow lane sprouting frame dwellings. Located 25 miles southwest from modern Salt Lake City, Bingham still utilizes a 1-horsepower mail delivery system, with the result that mail is picked up and delivered in real old Western style. Our next objective is the mine headquarters of the Utah Copper Company, for many years the scene of feverish activity. Small cable-hauled trams provide an inclined ascent for several hundred feet, permitting us unrestricted vision of this little town. So vast are the mining operations here, it is necessary to board yet another vehicle, this time the caboose of a supply train, to see the world's largest open-cut copper mine. What a spectacle! This man-made wonder, an immense amphitheater-like quarry, terraced with 23 benches or working levels, each 70 feet high. The mine covers an operating area of 475 acres. It is 1,600 feet from the crest to the floor of the pit, which is encircled with miles of railroad track, over which electric engines haul ore cars of 80 and 100-ton capacity. First prospected in 1862 by United States soldiers, it remained dormant until the period of the Spanish-American War, when Colonel Daniel C. Jackling, realizing its great possibilities, made his preliminary efforts to create this awe-inspiring project. Like the fabled ventures of Egyptian pharaohs, this great enterprise, too, depends upon manpower, and more than 4,000 are employed when operating at peak capacity to handle a single day's output of 70,000 tons of low-grade copper ore. Enough mineral in one day to fill 824 cars, equivalent to a train almost 5 miles long, and that's mining. Move the earth, and here it goes! Explosion. Thunder over Utah. 125,000 tons of mineral dust. a veritable smoky curtain of copper. This man-made earthquake is the signal that sends empty ore cars on their way to load up, and it becomes necessary to lay whole sections of new track in order to reach the debris. 29 electric shovels stab the earth, giant steel dippers scooping 6 to 7 tons of rock at a time, completely filling an ore car in the record time of 5 minutes. Yes, they move mountains here in Utah. And the parade of rock-laden cars starts for the Magna mill. Part of the blasted material is capping or waste, but this too is utilized, being dumped so that water may flow through it, and in this manner capture certain chemical qualities with the power to transform tin can shavings into almost pure copper precipitate. We leave the
The movie starts out with this nice view of Copperton. It's the only community to laugh around Bingham area. Now here's a car coming out. We have a little debate on that. If it's coming down Cypress Street. We think it's Cypress Street, or it could be Park Street. But this community was started in 1926. It was company-built homes, and they sold it to the residents in the mid-1950s. But then they go right up into the town of Bingham right after that. And you see this narrow town they're coming up here. Some great pictures. And they're turning going up to Carfork Canyon. There's the big store, the Bingham Merc there on the right. They went back down and it's about the same place. And look at all the traffic right there and how congested that is. Boy, you don't want to be here during shift change for sure. Now they go all the way back down to the start of the business district, and they're down by Standard Garage, and they're talking to the mailman here. Stella Salta said that probably was Mr. Stillman. The mailman was Mr. Stillman. Bingham Canyon had one of the last horse mail service in the whole United States. I'm going to take a minute and look at this car. We think it's a 1937 DeSoto S3 four-door touring sedan. It could be a maybe 38, but the hood ornament kind of says it's a 37. So that's one indication that this film wasn't made in 1948. This is an older car. Now they're back up Carfork Canyon. They're going to stop right across from where the tram was. And they do get out and cross the street in this picture. You can see that. So that's kind of neat. They're going to get on this vertical tram that went up to Bingham and Garfield Railroad Yard. Here's a great view of looking over the town of Bingham as they go up this tram. We had a video on this tram. Look at that view, isn't that great? Then looking the other way, you can see the Gimmel Club right there, that big building to the right. And they step off the tram. I don't know what year them fashions are, but anyway, this is kind of funny. So they get on this caboose to go into the mine. But that picture right there, that's not up in Bingham. That's not up in B&G Yard. That's out to Magna, that picture. There was no bridge and cars going over it up in B&G Yard. So now they're going to cross over the Carfork Bridge or A-Line Bridge into the mine, and that's right. But if you look across the way, you can see that I've circled here. It's a retaining wall, and that was part of the low-grade line from the Denver Rio Grande Western around 1907 when they built that. Now in 1940, they'll build a bridge underneath that retaining wall. And you see them building this bridge, and we've got a date right on that picture. Well, there's a couple of pictures with their dates in 1940. So that's one of the first proofs that this wasn't filmed in 1948. Then they go look at the mine itself. They're up higher and they're looking down on the mine. And right there, you can see the bottom of the pit. And And that's just a few levels below A level, or 6340. So in 1946, they'll complete the 6040 tunnel, and that was quite a bit deeper than where they're at now. So that's another indication this wasn't filmed in 1948. Then we'll just show you some pictures of they was moving along here and showing you the mine and the levels. The levels are all 50 feet deep. And from A level up, they was named letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D on up. And then when they went below A level, 6340, they named them in the elevation. They were like 6290, 6240, 6190, 6140, etc. on down. Some great views of the mine right here, though. Then they go up in Copperfield, this little town of Copperfield right here. So it's kind of neat to see that. But here's the big one right here. So you scan over here, you see this bridge, this big wooden trestle. That's E-line Bridge. That E-line Bridge was raised or taken down in late 1940. Here's some pictures of it being taken down. Now here's a picture of the mine, 1941, and see to the right would be where that bridge was, and there's no more bridge. So that's another reason this wasn't filmed in 1948. We'll just go ahead and show you some of the rest of this film. It's always fun to watch a blast. They used to blast every day at the mine. Here's an electric motor going into the level. He's got this side pantograph up there. Here's some empties coming here. That's a great little view of the track gang working. They worked on the track for a couple of years. And shovel loading some ore cars there. That's kind of neat. Had a laugh at the size of those dippers, though. They said they load about 6 to 7 tons with each dipper load. About 5 minutes per car. So that's almost comical compared to what the shovel sizes are now. And this one they said that the ore train's heading for the Magna mills, and that's actually a waste train. Then a great view of the pantograph changing from sidearm to top. This is going up to Carford Canyon. There's D-line Bridge. That was a half wood and half metal bridge. Then we go all the way up to the top of the canyon. It's L-line Bridge, and underneath that would be Highland Boy. Then we have some pictures of them taking the waste train out and dumping it over the dump. That's really neat. But the last picture is of Markham Bridge, an ore train going over that. And another final thing is that 1948, they stopped using this route, this B&G railroad, and they started to use Copperton Low Line. So that was started in 1948. So here's a picture of that Copperton Low Line when it was starting. So that's some of the reasons I think this was filmed in the 1940 or even earlier. I just wanted to share that with you.